Welcome to Unpacked, real conversations for diplomatic partners who are ready to unpack more than just boxes. This is the space for the brave questions, the messy middles, and the quiet decision to stop shrinking and start showing up fully. Talk identity, purpose, transitions, and what it really takes to feel at home in a life that's always moving. Because you've always been more than the label, and this is where we say it out loud. Hi, I'm Anna, and I am with my co-host Emma. Hi everyone, we are back. Welcome to the episode number 31. I cannot believe it. And I'm here as always with my amazing podcast buddy Emma. Hi Emma, how are you?
I'm good, thank you so much. I mean, I don't sound very good right now, so I apologise. I'm full of a cold. After saying last time about how well Isla had slept, she then decided that she was going to catch a cold somewhere. And obviously, as mum, you get sneezed on, coughed on, are up all night,
Yeah.
and yeah, my immune system is down. So, but other than that, we are doing very, very well. Thank you, Anna. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And just as a little correction, your immune system is getting stronger, by the way. I think when you have young kids and wait till Isla goes to daycare, well, that's when the fun starts. But I think, you'll be so immune.
Yeah.
Like you, yeah, definitely. So that's it. Like it's a bonus,
Okay.
getting stronger
I
and
like this
healthier.
idea.
And yep, absolutely. And I'm doing great, thank you. I'm also very happy because one of my kids is back from her UK trip. She got to Sydney on Tuesday, very early in the morning. And she's unbelievable. It's a long flight. So she literally left London on Sunday evening and she arrived in Australia on Tuesday morning, right? Okay, it's nine time zones, two long flights because she had to go via Singapore. And guess what? Because she's done it so many times, she's like smack bang, like, doing things, shopping, eating, swimming. So she can last the whole day.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she lasted on the day of arrival till 8 p.m. doing lots of things, not just sitting on the couch. So she's unbelievable. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, that is not how I spend my days when I'm jet lagged.
Exactly. So yes, I'm doing great because my baby is here, and I'm really savoring every moment with her because she's heading back to her boarding school on Monday, and I'm heading back to Beirut to see my other two babies. Well, oh, by the way, my oldest baby turned 18 on Sunday. Emma,
Oh,
that's such a milestone.
yeah.
Honestly, I cannot imagine that. Like, it's unbelievable. I cannot believe it. Because, like, for me, it feels like a day ago. She was like Isla. She was tiny, you know?
Yeah,
How did it all happen? When did it all happen? I don't get it.
yeah. And how
Blink
many
of an eye.
and how many different versions of you as a mum has she seen and you're evolving? I
Oh,
just think that
gosh.
would be it's amazing. Like when we've talked about in the parenting series, like you are a different mum in the baby, toddler, preschool,
Sure.
school, high school. Like
Yes.
you are a different version of a parent every time they change. So yeah, it's actually
Exactly.
incredible.
So, and because I could not celebrate with her, so she rang me at 12 midnight in London. They were having cake at that time. It
Yeah.
was early morning for me in Sydney. And I have to admit, I was in tears. Like, it's like, oh, I don't know. It's just, it hits you, 18.
Yeah.
She can officially drink now. I think in most countries,
Yeah.
things like that. I don't know. She can party, she can do things. She's, yeah, an adult. It's
Well,
crazy.
congratulations to
Crazy.
you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So, and today we're still discussing the topic, right, of confidence and how do we walk through life as a diplomatic partners, as women, as people. And today we are tackling a very important issue.
Hmm.
Or let's say that I can share then my experience with that. But we are going to discuss the very simple yet very tricky question. And what do you do?
Yeah, what
Right.
do you do?
What do
And
you do?
I hate that question. I really,
Oh,
really hate that question. And there's been
yes.
many, many times, especially in my first posting, where I used to fumble upon the answer.
Mm,
I'd say all sorts of things. I'd just say I'm a teacher because I just gave that old version of myself. I'd say, oh, I'm my husband's PA just to make a bit of fun. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I go around lots of different things, and and I, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? As a partner, you feel sometimes whether you currently work or whether you don't work, it wraps around that whole thing of like, oh, am I only interesting depending on what job title I have? And
exactly.
it's so not true, is it? It's so not true.
It's so not true. And I think especially, let's say, at the moment you're in Kenya, Nairobi, right, Emma? So, and I'm sure people ask us, so why are you here? What do you do here? Well, like, why are you here? Okay, you're a teacher, but why are you here? And I think either way, at some point, you just have to explain, okay, yeah, so my husband has a job here, or my husband is in a posting here. And I think what I found in the past, often people would get more interested in what he does
Yeah,
than actually what you do. And I used to feel like exactly like you were really bad about it and just fumble and really. And it just happened to me, like especially in some functions, surrounded by people that looked so accomplished. And whatever I did was kind of never cool enough. I felt so bad because I could feel like how people would disengage and at some point just really gloss over you and just move on because especially if let's say you're not working at the moment. And I think, well, a lot. Well, anyway, that they used to really be a nightmare for me. Like I really hated the question. I hated the way I was answering, and I felt awful doing all of that. But it has changed, right, Emma? I think that's what
yeah.
we discussed and came to the conclusion before recording.
I also think as well how many times or how many of our listeners can also recognise the start of the sentence. I'm just, um, you know, oh, I'm just here because my husband's work got a job here. I'm
Yeah,
just, you know, I'm just a spouse or I'm just being a mum. Just. This is like let's not downplay this. Like you're not just anything. This is who you are, and this is why you're here. And there are so many ways that we can confidently just own that and actually just separate that value away from. It doesn't matter that this is why I'm here because actually I'm doing a really important thing. I'm keeping my family together by moving us across the world and supporting someone else's career, which is incredible, and also doing all the other amazing things that you're doing too, right?
exactly. I think you dropped the key word there. You just really own it. So it's never just or only, it's everything. Like really for your family, you are the world, holding all of it together. And I think also depending on where you are and how important the conversation, I don't know, let's say you're the person from, not so much the person in front of you is, what I'm trying to say here, let's say there is a stranger who asks you the question, right, what do you do? You might never see this person again. Like,
They're just asking
if
for
someone,
for polite conversation, aren't they?
exactly, like, you don't have to, I think, well, you don't have to explain your whole life story. You don't have to explain or apologize and do anything. Like, and you can answer and give as little or as much information as you feel, is appropriate or you feel like at the moment. And definitely you don't have to explain and seek validation, I think, from someone who you've never met. Imagine if someone calls you and say, hey, I've never met you, but I hate you. And let's say, we're never going to call you again. You say, well, that's weird. I don't care. Like same here. Like, most likely this person, I don't know, will never see you again. So you can answer or say anything as long as you own it. I think really the kind of the goal, the older I get, the more I come to the conclusion, being comes before doing. Like if you confidently can be whatever, That's it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The
I
rest doesn't matter.
I think this is I think ultimately, and as a community, I think it would be great if we could also model the fact that we don't want people to ask that question. So when you're having these polite conversations, that it becomes so easy because it's such a natural question to ask. What do you do? Why don't we start changing it just in ourselves in our normal networking situation to say things like, "What are you up to here?" or "What do you like to do for fun?" Um,
Exactly.
Tell me about what's led you here, or all of these other questions that, like, let's just, as a community of partners, let's start to change the narrative anyway as it is, um, and to really just get into actually getting to know people, because people always remember how you made them feel. um, if you were just curious about them and you were interested about them, they don't really need to tell you about what they do. And it would be really interesting, and I bet if we started to ask the questions of, like, what do you like to do for fun, or what do you like to do, it would always somehow signal back towards the working aspect, because that's where people's
Yes.
comfort zones are, right? So it would be just a really interesting thing to kind of see. But ideally, we don't want to be talking about work. I think if and that we want to talk about how we can answer this question confidently. And like Anna said, you can say absolutely anything. Um,
Yeah.
but if you do feel like that you have that bit of awkwardness, or you'd like just to have like a nice, easy question, you could just say, "I'm currently taking a career break." And "I'm currently
Yeah.
taking a career break to settle into the posting," or "I'm taking a career break whilst we're overseas." Done. You know?
Exactly.
And
Or you can
that's
say you're learning a language, or you're exploring the country you're in, or you can say anything, like, I'm really anything.
yeah.
As long as you feel like, and I think you can proudly say, I'm a mom. I'm looking after my kids, looking after my family. I'm exploring, let's say, Lebanon or wherever you are in. If you volunteer, and again, it's like, you don't have to. I think somehow for society, obviously, you know, it's easier to put us into boxes and in label us, into, like, that's I think how we work, let's say that's why we also ask where you're from, because it just gives me this background information, like I know where to
Yes.
place you. And the same with work. Let's say if you're a teacher, doctor, or lawyer, or I don't know, whatever you are, I think that's why we just want to know that bit. But I think it's obviously, as Emma said, there's so much more to us anyway. And I really think you don't have to earn approval from anyone. You really don't need to worth your worth. You you don't.
No. And
Yeah.
it's a cultural issue, isn't it? Because many cultures, especially in Western worlds and capitalist culture, it everything, our worth, our value, is tied to achievement and productivity. And actually, if that was our only tie to our actual self worth, in psychologists, we call it contingent self worth. So it's like this, having this
Hmm.
contingency of like something external that makes me feel good. Well, actually, that's not
Yeah.
true. And when you have this contingent self worth of, my career gives me self worth, my how much money I earn gives me my self worth, your confidence can easily just disappear into that, or your confidence
Yes.
can only shine when you're in that situation. So as partners, as we bring this back, when we very often, like we've talked about many many times, we have to give up our jobs, we have to give up um, that job title. That's where we have this wobble, because our where we've placed all of our self worth and our confidence is now all of a sudden shattered. So it really is about turning the attention inwards and to ourselves, to really figure out, actually, my self worth, my value comes from me, and it doesn't matter about anything else that I do, what I do in my
Yeah.
day. If I sit on the sofa, read my books, sit at the pool, and enjoy my days, it's just, that is ultimately, as long as you're happy, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Absolutely. And to add on to this amazing point you just made, Emma, like really, if you look at the lifestyle, and yes, I know it is challenging, and yes, I think ultimately it's not so much what you do, it's like how fulfilled you are, whether it comes through a paid job or something else you do with yourself in your life. But I think if you look even objectively at the lifestyle we have and the lives we live, it's amazing. Like a lot of people would love to switch positions with us because this opportunity to see the world, to live in different countries, to be exposed to the variety of everything we are experiencing, like it's amazing. It's huge. So I think there's definitely nothing to be ashamed of, and you can, as Emma said, yes, answer the question, what do you do, in many different ways,
Yeah.
and really proudly so.
But I think what you just said there, Anna, about fulfillment, actually, I think that's the biggest feat, like the biggest wobble that we can have, isn't it? Because we've lost the
Hmm.
job title and we can then say whatever we want to say. But because we've lost that one, actually, the fulfillment that we need or the purpose, our purpose, that's the most important thing. And I think we can use that potentially to answer the question, what do you do? Um, so we have some reflective questions, don't we, Anna? To kind of
Yes, we
do like a little,
do.
like a practical coaching session. So you might want to just
Yes.
have grab yourself a piece of paper, a pen, and you might want to pause the podcast as we go along. But we have some questions to hopefully help you gain some more clarity about what fulfills you, and then if you then use some of these ideas to then figure out an answer, oh, a confident way that you want to answer what do you do in that type of scenario, then we can. But we're also going to answer along as we go, aren't we, Anna? So
Yes.
I'm very
Let's do
excited.
it together.
Let's do it all together.
Me too.
Okay, shall I go? Shall I ask the first question?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So the question is, what gives me energy? So we're forgetting about the money. That's money doesn't give us energy. Don't forget about the job titles. When do you feel the most alive?
So I personally feel the most alive when I work out, be it Pilates, be it the gym. I love my walks. I love spending time with my family. And I do love spending time on my own, let's say, creating a, my internal paradise within me. So, like my mindset and my feelings, that matters to me more than anything.
Yeah.
How about you, Emma?
So I come alive when I am helping people, and I
Mm.
love having conversations in all sorts of different capacities. Um, but when I help people believe that they are more capable of what they believe, um,
Yes.
I love it, and I gained. I love the fact that they leave the conversation feeling lighter, more confident, and more hopeful. But actually, it gives me so much energy, and it reminds me of all of the things of like like you said, the internal paradise there, and it reminds me of all of that's also inside me too. So having
Yes.
those conversations with people, it really does fuel my energy.
That's a really good point. I think when because I do believe, like in spiritually speaking, we are all one, right? We're all connected. And that's why, it's like when we are talking normally, we unknowingly mirror each other, the pace of our speech, the body language, is like how we are wired. All of us have those mirror neurons. And I agree with you and that's why I think we do this job, even just this job or calling or however you want to describe what we do, the passion, it's lifting other people up and
Yeah,
empowering them, especially for me. I forgot to mention that. I think that the empowering bit and the uplifting bit, because I'm a mirror image of you, you have the mirror image of me, and it's like, helping others to see how amazing they are and how powerful they actually are and how much potential they have and help people to stop believing in lies. I think that's what I am passionate about as well.
yeah. So if you want to have a little pause here, some other examples could be maybe you love helping people, learning, teaching, creating, connecting,
Hmm.
problem solving, organizing, listening, doing adventures. So really just give yourself a minute now just to really think about what gives you energy. And we'll be ask the next question very soon. So pause now.
Yes,
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed your reflection. Are we ready for question two, Anna?
of course.
So, question two, what strengths do people consistently thank me for? Or maybe a different way of phrasing that is, what would your best friend say about you? To maybe think about some of the compliments you've received over your life or in your work.
I think what I hear a lot from clients and friends and family, a different way of looking at things, inspirational, uplifting, empowering, just, yes, loving and kind, courageous. Yes, but I think I do hear a lot of inspirational. Yeah.
Yeah,
How about you,
that's
Emma?
lovely. I
Mm-hmm.
I always get from a friend point of view that I listen and I listen intently.
Mm.
And with that
Yes.
becomes a lot of caring and really allowing time for the people who I work with and my friends and my family to help them really feel understood without any
Mm-hmm.
judgment and just to be able
Yes.
to sit there and just listen to what they say and then I then also hope to then help them see things differently or offer a different perspective if that's what they wish. Sometimes I think this is where the fun bit is sometimes figuring out does that person really need you to support what they want or do they want that other perspective? Um, and
Yes.
ultimately it is to help them feel good. But I love to be able to shift their perspectives is amazing and really to help shine like a light on their confidence that they already have, um,
Mm-hmm.
and so that they can take that forward into the world. Because I know many people know that I do lots of different things like coaching, teaching maths, recording the podcast, yoga, all these
Mm-hmm.
different things, but they all have that really nice broader perspective of just really allowing people to have their own space and help them feel completely just seen and understood, which is wonderful.
That's right, and I love it, and I agree with everything you've just said, Em, and that's the way I feel when I talk to you as well. And I think it's just ultimately it's about, being able to open up and feeling safe. I
Yeah,
think that's when we actually feel like, we can share, something personal and private with the other person because I won't be judged. I'm seen and heard, and I feel safe.
yeah,
I think it's such a rare gift in the modern world where I think there are so many shoots and we feel judged, and the society and the world is telling us how we need to be and what we need to think. And if there is someone there just being, you know,
yeah,
without any bias, making you feel safe, I think that's a precious gift. Yes.
yeah. It's lovely, isn't it? Okay, so
Mm.
here's your invitation to pause and have a little reflect too. Maybe you might say that people think that you're really fun and happy, spontaneous, light up the room, all of these amazing things. Maybe you're really organized or you encourage others.
Calm or
Calm.
poise, and feel people,
Yeah.
because again, when everything is frantic and hectic and you're just this beacon of calm, that's amazing.
Yeah. Just like a nice steady presence in the room. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll pause now. Okay, and then we'll be back for question three, Anna. So, if nobody asked you your job title,
Hmm.
and they asked you instead, what impact do you want to have? What would you say?
What impact I would want to have? That's a big question
Yeah,
because I don't take it lightly. What impact? Let's say it probably depends. I want the impact. I know what type of impact I want to have on my immediate circle. Let's say my family and my children. I can tell that.
yeah,
I want my kids to go to thrive in their life. I want them to know that they're amazing. I want them to aim as high as they want and can. I want them to go after their dreams. I want them to believe in themselves. I want them to know that I'm always there to catch them and be the net, so they can
Yeah.
jump up high and I'm there to catch them. And the same, I think, for everyone I work with or talk to, really, like, you have the unlimited potential. You can do anything, you can be anything. And I want people to believe in themselves again, not letting the world define them or their past define them. My impact, or the impact I'd like to have, is people can decide who they are without letting the world tell that to them.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best, and it especially applies to women.
Yeah.
Yes, because I think we are really the kind of, we are given so many boxes we need to fit by the society. And let's say in the Western world, it's amazing, right? I can study, I can have a career, I can do all of that, but often it feels like you have to have all of that. That's why we can feel so guilty and so ashamed if I am just a mom or just a spouse and I'm not working, and then you feel equally awful probably if you're just a professional without having a family and things like that. And then also how you age and what you wear and how you look, and there's so many unwritten rules and requirements, and that's why I think we kind of often tiptoe around things and people please. But I think it's really amazing when you just take your power back and you decide first and you see the world follows.
Yeah.
How
And
about you?
well, and you do that, Anna. And I want to say,
Hmm.
like, I've
Yeah.
seen lots of comments on your Instagram where people say, "Thank you so much for this inspiration, and thank you for giving me some motivation today." I've seen the comments, and so you should
Thank
be very
you.
proud that you are having that impact on women as well, which is well done, you.
And the thing is, for me, it's always sounds like, you walk your talk, because otherwise, how can you have credibility? I cannot say you do that if I'm not doing that. Like, who am I,
Yeah,
right? Otherwise, so I think I obviously do it myself, and I think that's the only way actually we can. There is no teaching as such. You obviously can't teach things, but I think we best teach by example. You'll see it with your own kids. You can say anything, but
yeah,
ultimately they just follow. They see what you do and how you do it. That's it.
yeah,
Be the example.
absolutely.
That's it. Yeah. How about you, Amma?
Yeah.
What impact would you like to have in the world? That's a
So
big one.
it is a big one, isn't it? And
Huge one.
I will. I think I'll talk about this in regards to Zesty. Um,
Yes.
for me, I think it's about really empowering partners to actually create a life that they genuinely enjoy overseas. So I
Hmm.
think that when we are in this position where what you're saying is like you have to be able to walk the talk, you have to be able to live this life with like such intention and authenticity, and also to be able to see all of the amazing opportunities, as well as, yes, appreciate the fact that this life doesn't always come with the, as the easiest way to set ourselves up for success. We know that. So if we just take that as a
Hmm.
baseline, okay, well, what can I then do to really make sure that this life works for me? Because, like you say, it's an incredible opportunity to see
It
different
is.
countries. I mean, for me, it's been the most amazing opportunity to be able to retrain, to um, develop a business, to do all of these things. As it's absolutely
Exactly.
incredible, and with an idea of, and if it doesn't work, then it's okay, But I know I gave it a really good go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. I mean, you have the freedom, you have the time, you often have the financial possibility of doing all these things. And I think it's a gift.
yeah, it
And
is a
yes,
gift.
it comes with its challenges and trade-offs for sure.
Yeah, but so does
And
everything.
again, as long as everything, it comes with everything. I mean, yes, it applies to everything, but I think, really, it's so easy to say, like, I wish I had, but like, this is what you've got. And if you really look carefully at what you have, it is a gift. It's
Yeah,
amazing. And obviously, you either make the most out of it and it can blossom. It's a seed. Someone has given you a beautiful seed and it can blossom into something beautiful or not.
Yes.
Really,
Yes.
it's up to you.
Yeah. And so
And that's
that's
why, as you said, this intentionality is really important.
it is really important. So for me, the overall thing is really my impact is that I just want to support partners find the confidence within themselves to just make this life work for them in however they want
Yeah.
it to work, which is so beautiful.
I love it, Emma. Exactly. I think life you enjoy, as you said, and you're proud of. I think that's like, a fulfilled life that gives you fulfillment and pleasure and confidence and growth and exactly life on your terms.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
So we'll encourage you to pause here and have a think about what impact you want to have. And we'll be back for our very last question. Um,
Hmm.
so this question is an interesting one, and I think it means it's what chapter am I in? So taking that idea of actually that your life has seasons. Right now, this is what you could be working
Hmm.
on. In 3 months' time, it could be something completely different. It's about understanding where you are at the moment. So maybe you're building a business, settling into a new posting, parenthood
Hmm.
at the moment. Maybe you're just recovering. I know lots of partners who have arrived at posts and who have said, I just really needed to have a break from work. I was burnt out. I need this
Yeah.
time to recover. Um, so yes, where are you, Anna, in this in your chapters?
I'd say I'm also in, definitely, I've been in between chapters because we have one more year to go on our posting, and this posting has been the most challenging out of all. Two evacuations, three kids, and one of them in a different country. So there was a big, challenging chapter that I've been working through, and that's why all of that growth that happened, and because I just know growth happens when things are challenging. Otherwise, yeah, why would you? So it made me realize what is important, what I want, what I'm not definitely like I'm not doing that again. So this is like I'm in the chapter of clarity
Yeah, I was just thinking when you
and
were
the
saying
phase
that, I was
of
like, this is so clarity.
this is clarity. It's like yeah, this is it. This is exactly what I want. This is how I want it, and that's how I'm going to do that. So
Yeah,
this is clarity, but also I think again it's just I think with women it comes with age because my kids are older, so one of them will be finishing school in a year time. So I'm kind of moving towards this like now I have more time. I really have more time to do things exactly my way and what is my way.
hmm
And yes, simple, intentional, less is more, and with certain standards that I have now for myself.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's where I'm in. How
That's
about you, Anna?
beautiful. I am
Mm-hmm.
in a season of discovery and discovery and exploration. I feel as
Mm-hmm.
though I'm learning at the moment who I am as a mum,
Yes.
and who I am. I had so many like clear ideas and clear goals, and I still want to continue to build Zesty. Um, and it's really now about learning how to balance my professional ambitions whilst also
Mm-hmm.
being a mum and being a family unit, which is all brand new. And
Yes.
it's been my. If, I mean, when you asked as a child, what do you want to do when you grow up? And
Mm-hmm.
I had, I want to be a nurse, a hairdresser, a teacher, a doctor. I had all of
Mm-hmm.
these things, but always, throughout a constant, was always to have my own family, um,
Mm.
and to have children. I mean, I know what for specifically as well. When I thought about becoming a teacher, I thought was like, this would be really good. And I'll get to have school holidays off with my children
I
one day.
see.
So
Okay.
there's always been this underlying
Mm-hmm.
theme of me always wanting to have my own family. So for really right now, it's about how do I get everything and how do I balance everything out? And some days work wonderfully, other days don't work wonderfully, and um, yeah, I'm enjoying learning the whole thing, and I'm very obviously in a very fortunate position that we have help with Isla,
Mm-hmm.
um, so that I can spend. I don't know. I joked before that she has 99.9% of my time, but I have, and 0.1% goes to everything else at the moment. But I am slowly, very slowly, giving myself more time back for me, and then also back for Zesty as well. And I can't wait to see that as that develops, as well as, and obviously when as she grows up, her needs from me will change as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're an era of discovery, which is
Uh,
exciting.
it is exciting, and I think it's never going to stop, to be honest with you. Like I'm also in the phase, I think the discovery phase is the ongoing phase we're all in because our children are growing and evolving. We are changing and evolving. The world is changing and evolving. Like nothing is static, right? It's not standing still, none of it. So
Yeah,
and that's why there's always, there are always pivots and, adjustments. But I think with time, it's just exactly, you just grow, you find the best way. And then you have to find yet again another best way for you. And that's how it just goes. I think it's a constant expansion. But I think I love it, Emma. And like, look, I'm also still in the discovery phase. How can I be the best mom for my teenagers now? Because they're almost there, kind of, they're almost
yeah,
ready to leave the nest. But how can I make sure their wings are really strong and they can fly, as
yeah.
high or as far as they want? How can I do it the best way? I don't know. Like, I've never been a mom of teenagers. Like, I've never had an 18-year-old. It's my first time as well.
Yeah.
So
So
it's,
all doing it. So give a pause now and
yes.
have a little think about where you currently are and what you're focusing on, and then hopefully you've managed to have a little think about that now. And the whole idea of this is, not necessarily to come up with a clever response to the question of what do you do, but it's
Mm,
actually about really figuring out where you are, getting that clarity of where how you're going to be fulfilled, and then working towards that, and not just thinking about an old job title or a scripted elevator pitch that very often
no.
we see in these networking events. Um, and I hope you've enjoyed that session. I've really enjoyed going through it, haven't you, Anna?
I know. It's always, I think that's the power of questions, right? Like,
Yeah,
because if you ask a lousy question, you get a lousy answer. But if you ask smart questions, like Emma just did, it really makes you pause and stop and think and uncover a few things,
yeah.
unpack. So hopefully
Unpack
you've been
it.
unpacking some treasures that were
Yeah,
lying there underneath a few layers of, well, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we normally end our podcast with letting you know how you can get in contact with us. But to mix it up a little bit, maybe Anna, you could tell us maybe a little bit about the work that you do, and if people want to work with you, what do you offer? If they wanted to work with you on a one-to-one basis or however you work.
Exactly. So yes, I do like working one on one because I think that's how my clients get the best results because they're tailored to you and your specific needs. And normally I do it over the course of 6 weeks or 12 weeks, depending on, your situation, obviously the budget. But we all know it's like the gym. My favorite metaphor, once is not enough. For any lasting changes or let's say transformation, that's what you want. You need some time and you just need to put some reps in. And what I love working on with you is, identity. Because really, like, if you think and truly, truly believe you are successful, you're, sorry, badass at everything you do, like, it's, this will automatically create thoughts, beliefs, and actions, and it will have, it will kind of materialize in the physical world, and that's how you are going to create whatever you want for your next, phase or season in life. So it starts with the identity, um, and a big part of it that you can, as Emma said, have the life on your terms, although you are actually, supporting other people, you know, important people in your life, like the, let's say maybe it's for you, it's career, for someone, it depends on, we're all different where you are and what specific area you want to focus in. So happy to do that. But these are my absolute core foundations, identity, your confidence, and everything, because everything is built upon that. Who you want to be and how there, from A to B. That's how I structure my work. How about you, Emma?
Lovely. And then just before we move on to me, if people wanted to work with you
Yes.
one to one, how's the best way
Oh,
to?
yes. The best way, you can drop me a message in DM on Instagram or use Anna not just a spouse.com. Yes, that's. I think we have the info on the show
Yeah,
notes, but I think it's not just a spouse on Instagram. You just DM me there. I'm happy to talk to you. And I do offer a discovery call. Like chatting. Just finding out whether it's the right match. It costs nothing. So I'm
absolutely.
always welcoming anyone who wants to explore these ways of working with me. How
Yeah.
about you, Emma?
And well, just before we move, I also offer a discovery call as well, and I actually think that I would encourage anybody to have a discovery call because
Of course.
apart from the fact that obviously it's about discovering whether it's the right fit, but actually I know that for whenever I've had a discovery call with coaches, and I've always gained so much from those anyway. It is a mini free session anyway, isn't it? Um, so
Exactly. It's already a clarity session, I'd say, because it's already, even if you don't decide, if you don't decide to work, right, with this, particular person, you still, you gain so much, so many
yeah,
insights and already clarity. That might be enough. Just
yeah,
go for it.
yeah.
Great point, Em. Yeah.
So yeah, I love
So
it.
sorry, I've interrupted. Go on.
That's okay. So I actually have a signature coaching program called Roots and Wings, and it's the program that I
Hmm.
wish I'd had when I first moved overseas. So it really focuses at first on your well-being, prioritizing yourself, getting really clear on what your life is, what your life is right now, what you want it to look like, and actually making it work for you in your day to day life.
Mm.
And then the wings aspect, so that's the roots aspect, and thinking about also your relationships with your partner, and your support. What is your support system, and then also looking at your wider network and your community as well, and actually making the most out of. Maybe it's the expat community, maybe it's a online community, maybe it's your own community. So really understanding how those relationships can add that extra layer to your life, and then potentially, if this is where you were interested, the wings aspect is about making this life portable for you. So being able to take yourself
Mm.
and your passions, and getting really clear on how you want to show up and use your passion in the world, um, to make the life work for you. So it's not necessarily about that aspect. It's not necessarily about building a business or reinventing yourselves. It's about, who am I outside of the supporting role? What do I want to do, and how do I use my um, my creativity, my intellect, who I am as a person? How do I show up? But how do I make it work for me so that I can move from one country to another country? Because very often we
Mhm.
get pushed into this idea of, oh, you should get local employment, you should do this, you should do that, and getting rid of all of that and actually reconnecting with what matters to you, and to create a life that feels exciting and really, really purposeful. And what I love about this work more than anything is that I also have like a private WhatsApp community called My Zesty Besties, and we have
Uh,
some real like the people who are doing the coaching program as well.
Hmm.
They are such wonderful support system. I think sometimes a lot of the time coaching programs, they can promise you all of the same similar sorts of things, but when people aren't living life like you are, they don't fully understand what it means to be a partner and an accompanying partner.
Hmm.
So in the Zesty Besties community, they are, the women there are all partners. They're all going through the same process, and it's really nice to have that support and that bigger community and going through that whole process with other people as well. Um, but if you want to find out more, and I also have a shorter version of that program too. So if you kind of were just interested in
Hmm.
um, the well-being side and just the identity and making this life work on a day-to-day basis, my shorter program is called the Portable You. Um, so I'll pop. You can. There's like I can put some links in the show notes. Actually, that just take you to a little form where you can pop your email in, and then you'll get the course, the program download into your email. Or you can just send me a message like Hannah. You can DM me, um, and we can have a chat as well,
Yeah,
which is
that's
great.
wonderful. I love it. Yes,
Yeah,
and roots and wings, exactly. I think you need both. You do want have some anchor,
yeah,
definitely, right? Because otherwise you'll be drifting all over the place, and you do want to have wings. And I think to grow the wings, you kind of do need this center and knowing like you'll be fine. I think ultimately it's all about creating life on your terms, life that works for you, and it kind of accommodates you first of all, because really, like I do believe, like Emma, you are the the main person in your life, like
yeah,
because I'm the main person in my life. Although yes, I'm a mom and I'm a spouse, but if I'm not okay, all other things and all other aspects of my life, including my, relationships with my loved ones, won't be okay either. Like, and again, it's your duty to take care of you. Like,
yeah,
that's just really, you are your responsibility, and your happiness is your responsibility. It's no one else's business. And that's why, like, it's your duty is to be fulfilled and happy,
yeah,
because I think only then can you be of value and help others in your life. That's it.
yeah. And then I think that's exactly why I created Reason, because, like you say, you can't have the wings if you have nowhere to land. um, so it is all about making sure that you are fully rooted in your identity, your value, all of those things that we've talked about. I also
Exactly.
went through like
Yes.
limiting belief. Oh, there's so many different things. Like it's amazing what can come out in one coaching session. So I really encourage all of our listeners, book yourself a discovery call with myself or Anna. Um,
Exactly.
and
Because I think we all have, sorry, Emma, for interrupting, we do have blind spots, and we do have, I think, especially if you haven't taken time before, to kind of really do some self-reflection. Maybe you've moved for the first time, and that's why you suddenly you cannot work. Really, like whether you like it or not, you have to reinvent yourself. It's kind of you have suddenly have space and time to decide what's next, and like let me tell you, it's going to change with your second and third and so forth posting. Like it's an ongoing process. It's not like you've done it and you're dusted. It doesn't work like
yes,
this.
no,
You'll be forever changing. Your needs will be changing. Your values might be changing too. And I think ultimately, what what's all about for me, it's like, if you know you've got yourself, you've got your back. I think that's the best thing you want to have, because as Emma said, if you outsource your value, your confidence to external things, well, my friend, that's not a fun place to be, just in general, because you cannot like and that's why you, as the foundation, the core of your universe, which is the truth, that has to be rock solid.
hmm,
And that's my mission, is help women have this rock solid foundation. Like, I've got this, no matter what, I'll be fine. Like, I really honestly, 200%, I'll be fine. I've got it.
yeah.
That's it. If you can do that, my mission fulfilled.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Anna. And I'm very cautious that we're keeping our listeners. So thank you so much. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much, listeners, for listening. We have one more episode on our um, confidence series left to go. So I look forward to listening to catching back up in a couple of weeks' time. And we are very, very excited to have you back then. So thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you very much, Emma, and much gratitude towards you, all our wonderful listeners. And yes, stay tuned, keep sharing with others, and let us know if you want us to focus on some other topics in
Yes,
the upcoming episodes, right? We're always listening and always happy to receive your input.
we would love it. So yes, thank you so much, everybody. We look forward to seeing you again
Thank
very, very
you.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.